I was 12 years old, my father wanted to build a brick barbecue in the backyard. He was remodeling a brick house and making room for the new, his crew tore down the old. A dump truck dropped the used bricks in front of our house between the road and the sidewalk, and there were thousands of them. My dad paid me 1 penny to move 1 brick from the street to the backyard. I commandeered my brother's red wagon and I went to work. I was after a new baseball glove. After 1 week, I caught my dad studying the pile. It didn't appear to be getting any smaller. He asked me how much he owed me so far, meaning how many bricks had I moved. I pulled out my notepad and reported the figure. Then he asked me how long it had taken me. About an hour was my guesstimate. He asked me how many of my friends had red wagons. Confused, I said probably all of them. Then he proposed an idea that changed my life. He suggested that I hire my friends to help and pay them 1 penny for every 2 bricks that they move. Then he showed me the math. I like math. It's an incredibly powerful and useful tool. 1 hour equals 100 bricks or $1. And that was in 1974, just saying. After school, I worked for 1 hour each day, and on Saturdays, 3 hours. Therefore, it would take me 5 weeks to move all 4,000 plus or minus bricks up the lawn and stack nicely, earning me $40. But if I hired 3 of my friends to work with me only on Saturdays, I would make $1.41 per hour instead of $1. I would get the job done, get paid, and more importantly, start breaking in that new baseball glove 2 weeks faster. At that moment in my life, I learned how to manufacture time. I keep hearing about how busy all of you are, and as a result, it seems like more of you are just working more hours to handle it. Now here's a quick, very simplified example of how taking on more projects and working more hours may not pay off as well as we think. Let's say that you sell a project for $5,000 and you can produce the drawings by yourself in 1 week along with the other stuff that you do in 40 hours, like visiting with potential new clients. We all know we never charge for those hours. Now let's say you pay yourself $50 per hour, and let's say your fixed costs like phone, internet, association membership, and office are $500 per week. Now, even if you're working from home, you should be accounting for these costs. So $5,000 in revenue minus $2,000 for your labor minus $500 for expenses is $2,500 or 50% gross margin. Now, let's say a second project comes in the door. It'll take you 20 hours to complete. The $2,500 proposal is accepted, but the deadline you agree to is the same day as the first project. Here are 4 options. 1, you pass on the job. 2, you work overtime, 60 hours instead of 40 hours. You meet the deadline, but the other stuff doesn't get done. Billing is backed up. You miss your kid's soccer game. You get the idea. 3, you juggle the 2 projects. You put in your typical 40-hour work week, thus causing both projects to miss their deadlines. Or 4, you hire help. Now let's look at option 2 and do the math. This week's billables are now $7,500 minus $3,000 for your labor, and notice you're not paying time and a half, minus $500 for the week's expenses leaves $4,000 or 53% gross margin. You've worked 50% harder for only a 3% higher margin. Now join me for tomorrow's Tuesday at 2 webinar, and I'll finish this story by showing you how option number 4 reduces your workload by half, increases your gross profit by 15%, and gets both projects completed on time. That's right, we're working on reviving the Tuesday at 2 webinars. Tomorrow, associate member Ken Cassee, the director of staffing at Crawford Thomas, a staffing agency, will also be with me to explore the journey of finding, interviewing, and hiring A players. Ken helps job seekers find job providers, and vice versa. He's been a part of building the A team here at AIBD. Now go to aibd.org/events and look for Tuesday at 2 on the calendar. Or go back to the email that led you to this video and find the direct link in the events section. While you're at it, check out all the other cool stuff we spent all week writing about in the Monday Minute. And by the way, I found out later my dad's client wanted all of the remaining red bricks painted yellow. That became my next project. I'll see you at tomorrow's webinar. Have a triumphant week.